All right, guys, let me know if you can both see the screen and hear me as well. Not so many people in yet. Thank you, Hayden. Okay, so today I'm going to cover some basics about SerpAttack, the difference between SerpAttack and VidAttack Alpha, why it's probably at least 100 times more powerful than VidAttack, and what the plans are for the future, both in pricing and in being able to bulk up the membership and for the home IP stuff as well, because we've actually built in the home IP stuff, as you can see here, but we don't have enough members yet to be able to use that. So all of that kind of stuff I'm going to cover, and I'll do a demonstration of the tool as well. SerpAttack, it's come from VidAttack Alpha. It's come from using VidAttack Alpha for probably about 6-7 years, and we built the first version of VidAttack Alpha back in 2014. And when we built VidAttack Alpha, then I think we were probably the first people to have built a tool for CTR clicks and for those engagement signals that we need. And over the years, we kind of learned some things about doing those particular strategies, and even those strategies, although they evolve, they're pretty stable as far as the ranking factors are concerned. That is sort of triggered when we're using tools like this. And one of the problems I always had, and one of the problems I always tried to fix, was that we needed to use quality proxies, which we still do if we're not using home IPs, but you're limited because of cost and because of the reach of those proxies. So for example, if you've got like 25 squid proxies and you're using VidAttack Alpha, then you'd be kind of crazy to go beyond more than 2 video views or 2 blog browsing sessions per IP. So 25 squid proxies would give you about 50 video views for each video, not for all videos, for each video that you wanted to apply this to. So what I've tried, I've tried several things over time, where we even had a Facebook group that I tried last year to get people to, just swap campaigns and just export each other's campaigns and import into their VidAttack Alpha tool. And it became, something that people said they were interested in, but they were not actually doing it. So I went to my developer and I said to him at that particular time, when I realized this was not going to work to make that happen, I told him we need to make a way that we can use each other's proxies by doing some crowdsourced views. So this is the result of that. We've now got SerpAttack, and SerpAttack is in 2 parts. We've got the desktop tool, and the settings for the campaigns is done from a web application, and inside that web application there is a whole bunch of information. It can tell you why any campaigns are failing. It can tell you if you've got problems with proxies. It can tell you if you've got problems with any errors, any failed views, etc. It can pinpoint exactly what was wrong. Okay, and that gives us a massive advantage to be able to see and pinpoint any problems, especially for us as well as developers, because if we can look into your account and we can see what's happening there, it's not hard to figure out then what the solution might be. It could be you just need to use better quality proxies, for example. That is often the case. So anyway, that's where we are today. Now, we have actually had this built since March 2001. Okay, it's been sitting around for like 9 months. What happened was we started a case study group. It started off okay, then my developer, he needed some time off, so it kind of lost the momentum, it lost the energy. And then I tried to start another group as well. I just created a new Skype group again. I took some of the original people and got some new people in, and it didn't really take off as far as people were doing the testing that we needed. So I kind of put it on the back burner while I went away and did some stuff with YouTube ads, which is the result of what you might have seen yesterday if you were on the webinar yesterday for traffic sculpting strategies, which is a really powerful system. That's what I've been doing for the last few months. Now, SerpAttack needed to be released. It needed to be released right now, and the reason for that is because if I don't, I know that I'm going to get further and further and further into the YouTube ad stuff, and it might never be released, which would be a damn shame, to be honest, because it's such a powerful tool. It's such a good tool. So I decided, like on the spot, about 2 or 3 days ago, I'm going to release this, and I went and created a page for a sales page. I actually had most of it already done for the sales page from a few months back, and I just made it active. And so here we are on a webinar today for SerpAttack, trying to get some people in. And I've got some good incentives for people to come in now, because if you look at the credits that we're offering, for the price we're offering those credits, it's almost a giveaway, but even offering up to 50,000 credits, which if you use just for CTR views, imagine you try to do 50,000 views on VidAttack with those squid proxies. Say you had 25 squid proxies and you were doing like 50 CTR clicks for your videos there. How many of those would you do with 50,000? I've deliberately made it ridiculously cheap so that I can get as many people in as possible, so that we can start to use the tool and get the tool being used by people, so that we can start to get results. And the more people we can get in, then the closer we can get to actually using the home IP stuff. And so that we can then, run on home IPs. If we've got thousands of members, we can run this on home IPs. You can create your own groups with home IPs and not use proxies if that's what you want to do. It's already built in. We just need more members for that. So that's basically where we are today. Okay. So for those that are not familiar with the strategies that we're using here with SerpAttack, well, what we're doing is we're doing high retention YouTube views and blog browsing. Okay, it will work on blogs as well. It will go into a blog post and it will move around your blog post, and it will click on links and go to different pages, and it will stay there for as long as you tell it to stay there in the settings for your campaigns. Okay, now what that does is it triggers algorithms for engagement signals. Now, the way that one of the ways that Google can see if it's serving up the right results for any search query is things like the CTR clicks from the search engine. And once they have clicked through to the content, whether it's a video, whether it's a blog post or whatever, it's how long people will stay there, what people are doing when they're there, as far as are they commenting, liking, sharing, all that kind of stuff. They can see that very easily in YouTube because they own YouTube. And that kind of stuff, all those kind of engagement signals that normal people would do, that is the best indication. That isn't going to go away anywhere. Whereas backlinks, they're always changing algorithms, are trying to weed out some spammy backlinks, and all this kind of stuff has been happening for years. And SEO is becoming more about people with bigger budgets that are starting to, dominate those best keywords. Okay. And the only way that we can really fight back is not, in my opinion, is not by spamming Web 2.0 sites like we did back in 2014, where we had, hundreds of thousands of accounts on places like Tumblr and Reddit and Blogger, etc. Those links are just useless now. I think they're oversaturated. So the way that we can do it, and the way that it's starting to become more and more important over the years, is with engagement signals. Okay, and we can manipulate that. We can really manipulate that. But the one thing that's always going to be the same, and it doesn't matter how many views you do with this, you will never be able to do enough views with this, even with the biggest sort of membership that we could build, than some of the traffic that you can get from real traffic if you've got real rankings. So if you've got real rankings for a keyword that is generating, say, 14,800 searches per month, then that is constant searches coming through every day. That's constant traffic coming through every day for whatever web page or whatever video is ranking and getting traffic. it's hard to keep up with that with any automation. So what it comes down to is the quality of your content. And the quality of your content is really important, because you've got to realize that once real traffic comes, no matter what these tools can do, once real traffic comes, then real engagement signals, real CTR click-through rates kick in. And that's going to drown out anything that you have created so far with these kinds of tools. So you need to have content that is at least as good as your competitors that are ranking on either YouTube or Google or wherever you're targeting. Okay, hope that makes sense, because you need to understand the software has got limitations, and those limitations are based on the quality of your content. Because once we can go and get rankings with this, but once the real traffic comes, then that's the real test. So you need to have good quality content. Okay, so now we covered some of the basics. Let's go through these slides, and I'll try and make everything as easily understandable as possible, and I'll take some questions towards the end. Okay, so this is SerpAttack Alpha on steroids. Let me show you inside the dashboard. Okay, you can see we've been building up some different projects and stuff in here. Most of this has been from testing, to be honest. You can see we've got dashboard here. It will tell you how many personal projects you've got, how many group projects, how many views done, and how many failed views. Now that's a high number of failed views because we've been inserting some data in here just for testing, so that we could get some screenshots and stuff for sales pages and for marketing materials, etc., and for teaching as well. So basically, this is what you see on your main dashboard. Now, when you come into the projects in here, this is where we create projects. If I go and create one here, if I just edit one here so you can see one already filled in, you will see if you've been using SerpAttack Alpha, this is identical. It's asking for the same kind of things. The only difference is where the project type here, you can choose if you want CTR views, you can choose bulk views, you can choose blog browsing, you can choose all these different types of campaigns. I think we've got more to put in here. There should be 9 in total. And you've got basically, it looks like the same as SerpAttack Alpha, okay? And then we come into the options here. We've got the option to play end screen videos, which is really, really important. We've got some good strategies for this that should not be ignored, because these strategies can make a hell of a difference. Especially if you're trying to rank on Google, this is hugely important. We can set the retention rate, we can go like 2x speed, etc., etc. And we can, I think we're going to add in here, let me see if he's already done it. We've got the retention rate, here was the speed. Let's just see, I got them mixed up there. That's the retention rate. I need to see the speed. Yeah, we should have a slower speed in here. We're going to have a 0.5 speed in here as well. Because one of the ranking factors is actually watch time of videos. This one is sliding properly. And you can see it's basically the same settings as SerpAttack Alpha. It's identical. The only difference being that we are able now to take a project, and we can click and go and view once we've created the project, and we can click over here to share into a group. And when we click in here to share it into a group, you can choose from public groups and your own private groups. You can see I've only got 2 public groups in here right now. And we've deliberately done that for the time being, so that we can force people to start to use the public groups so everybody can benefit from the limited membership numbers that we got so far, okay, until we can grow the membership so that we can get people to do each other's views, okay? So when you get added into the group, when the project gets added into the group, then it starts to run on anybody's computer who has got the desktop tool working, okay? You see the desktop tool here. If I take that campaign, for example, let's go into the edit project, and I will increase the view count. This is a bulk view, so I'll just do something quickly so you can see how this works. If I share that into a group, then what's going to happen is it's going to start to, it's already assigned. Okay, what's going to happen is going to start to kick off in the desktop tool immediately. You can see that starting to pre-populate. So we got the desktop tool that is doing the settings, and then sorry, the web app tool that's doing the settings, and the desktop tool is doing the viewing. Okay, but really important.
Here's one of the cool things about SerpAttack desktop tool. Now, we don't have to.
Through my online store alone, we've sold over 500,000.
Okay, you can see it has that 1 or 2 seconds where it jumps in and starts to play videos. There's not a lot we can do about that right now, but
here's one of the.
But it's doing the views, like all from, it's communicating with the server, it's doing all these views. That is going to happen on multiple computers at one time. If you've got a group, for example, of 10 people, and 10 people have got like 50 squid proxies, say, and before, if you had 50 squid proxies, that's like 100 views you could do, which could be sufficient if you're doing CTR views. But when there's 10 people in the group and they're all doing 100 views for each other's videos, for example, or blog posts, then that's 100. And that's times, if you got 100 views times 10, that's 1,000 views that you're doing then. So you've got that crowdsourcing happening, even if it's using proxies, okay? Even if it's using proxies, so that you're just basically, you're 10xing the power of VidAttack Alpha with just 10 members. But we don't intend to have just 10 members. We intend to have thousands of members, and you're creating your own groups. And the benefit of that is that you can work with people that you can trust, because of what you want to do is say to people, look, I'm creating a group, for example, and I only want to work with people who are using squid proxies. Okay, I need people who've got high quality proxies, so there's no messing about, there's no weak proxies holding the campaigns back, etc. We need just people in here in this specific group who are using squid proxies. I only need 10 people. I've got 50 squid proxies. I need other people that can match it. And then you can get 10 people doing the same thing in the private group, where you've got a good sort of teamwork happening within your group, so that you're getting the views that you need and you're getting through the campaigns efficiently. Okay, and that gives you that power. That gives you real power then, that you can, for a start, you don't need huge amounts of CTR views. Okay, you really don't. I've often been ranking videos with like 20, 30, 40 CTR views. So when you think of the 50,000 credits in that context, that's almost like a lifetime of CTR views if that's what you wanted to do. Okay, but the power within the system could be as well when you're doing bulk views to bulk up the other ranking factors, because the other ranking factors will kick in as well. Okay, and that's basically, I wish I could tell you the tool is more complicated, that it was more different features and stuff, but it doesn't need it. It's just a simple setup that is really highly effective. It is highly effective. This is VidAttack Alpha, but with crowdsourcing. It's identical to VidAttack Alpha in every single way, except for we're doing crowdsourcing. Although we have split it into 2 different tools, which we needed to do, it is basically VidAttack Alpha on steroids. This is what it is, and it's like, hugely more powerful. We will probably add some more tools in here as well, like keyword tools, etc. I need to add in here. Okay, so let's come back over into my slides. So getting those crowdsourced views, that gives us the ability that we can tap into ranking factors. Now here's what Google has to say about CTR clicks. Okay, you can see here Google saying for the patent, so that results on which users often click will receive a higher ranking. This is about CTR clicks from the search engine. Results on which users often click will receive higher ranking. So if you've got 10 pieces of content on page 1 of Google, and you've got 1 piece of content that is getting more CTR clicks, then they're going to be given a higher ranking. You can see it there. That's coming straight from them. They're going to be given a higher ranking. So that could supersede backlinks. It depends on the quality of the backlinks, of course, but that could supersede backlinks. And that's one of the things we can really take advantage of. That's built into the tool. That was built into the VidAttack Alpha before as well, and it worked like gangbusters for years and years and years. It still does. Okay. From Google Engineer, you can see like using click and visit data to rank results is a very reasonable and logical thing to do. This is coming from the engineers. And ignoring this data would have been silly. Okay, so basically, he's talking about the click and the visits over into a piece of content. What we're not talking about right now is the time spent on the sites or on the videos. And here from Google Lawsuit, you can see the ranking itself is affected by the click data. So that's how many people are clicking through. So this is proof that the CTR clicks actually work. But there are other ranking factors, especially in YouTube. And although the ranking factors in YouTube are not the same as the ones in Google, they still affect in ways that in slightly different ways. Because what happens is when you're doing CTR clicks from YouTube, and then when you are getting retention views, etc., you're also getting those views triggering any links in the description. I wish I could switch that off. That noise is really distracting me. I think I'm going to switch this off for now. I kind of lost my train of thought with that in the background. Anyway,
Here's one of the cool.
Still gone. Stop it. All right, so yeah, even though the YouTube ranking factors themselves, like watch time and CTR clicks and retention time within YouTube, it doesn't affect directly from the Google search. Google doesn't actually pick up on the signals from within YouTube for its own search engine, but it does trigger other things. Okay, so if people are watching videos and they're clicking through from YouTube video descriptions, or if there's like one description in the video link, well, I've demonstrated that multiple times in something we call the rank attack SEO system. And that rank attack SEO system was a very, very simple system that just worked every single time. But the key part to it was that you needed to use the CTR clicks from Google search engine as well as YouTube. If you used just YouTube, it wouldn't affect. But if you used the Google search engine as well, then it would affect. And what would happen then is when you're getting CTR clicks for specific keywords, then whatever that one link was in your description, it would start to rank for that keyword. Okay, so if I was using a keyword like crypto suite demo, and I used maybe 30 or 40 CTR clicks on Google, then I could expect to get my rankings moved up for that keyword. Okay, and we tested this with SerpAttack, and it worked really, really well. And you know, the less competitive keywords, you're going to need less sort of CTR clicks and views, but the more competitive keywords, you're going to need a lot more of them. But what we can do as well is we can bulk up the other ranking factors with the watch time, with the time spent on those videos, okay, and also the retention time, okay. And we can also do something else, which is for earned views, which is a ranking factor, it's keeping people inside YouTube for longer, and that's basically getting the software to watch end screen videos. So if I come into the SerpAttack settings again, and I go into the edit project in here, when I come to the options over here, you can see we've got an option to watch end screen videos. Okay, we built this into SerpAttack as well. But here's the difference here, because when you're doing this within a crowdsourced group, this can go really, really deep as well. And you can really have that effect when you're using multiple people doing this at one time, where you can say, well, go like 3 or 4 or 5 videos deep. Okay, so it starts off where you have a video and you have an end screen video. Okay, in the settings when you're uploading your video into YouTube, you've got that setting where you can add an end screen video, and then that end screen video, when it starts to play, it can also have an end screen video, and that one can have an end screen video, etc., etc. And that can work really, really well if you're working within sequences. And the easiest way to do that is to create a video and then break your video down. So for example, you can do something like top 5 SEO tips for YouTube marketers, okay? And then you can break those 5 tips into individual videos, and you can run SerpAttack campaigns with those. And you have one link in the description, and all you want to do is to bulk up the watch time, the retention time initially. And then what you want to do is you want to get those CTR clicks. So you're going to use the bulk views for that one first, and then you use the CTR clicks. And what that's going to do in total with those different keywords that are being used for each one of those videos, well, it's going to start to rank whatever the link is in the description, with that specific strategy, you can afford to put 2 links in there. Okay, I will cover that exact strategy in a separate webinar, because it's not hard, but it does need explained properly, and you need to see it in action as well. So I will have that all set up. We will do like one webinar session just on that strategy, because it's really a powerful strategy. It's one of the rank attack system strategies that I created. I created the initial one, and I had rank attack SEO, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition, etc. This was one of those because it really works very well. And what you can do then is you can have 2 links in there, one going to the original full version video and one going to whatever the landing page was, whether it's for an affiliate link or whether it's for your own sales page, your local SEO clients page, whatever it might be. It's a really powerful strategy to use, and it's made even more powerful when you can have other people multiplying the mileage of your proxies, because if you've got 50 proxies, then it's only 100 views, but you've got all those other people doing it as well. You're running into multiple hundreds or thousands, depending on how many people you put in is in that group, at that particular time when you're running your campaign. So that is really powerful for us to be able to do that. So the ranking factors are built in, and these are ranking factors that we have seen in action over time for since back in 2014. It worked then, it's still working now. It isn't going away, in my opinion. I can't see how it can go away. Okay, so some technical things that you might want to be aware of, and again, it's comparing with the BidAttack Alpha stuff. The proxies, we've got ability to use proxies and home IPs. Home IPs, we obviously can't do that with BidAttack. The home IPs, I've got a plan to that for that to bulk up the membership. I'm going to start to give run some giveaways. I'm going to start to run some ads to some giveaways, but I need to do that via Facebook ads and stuff. I don't think we'll get away with it with YouTube ads for like hack SEO strategies for YouTube, but I will definitely do it for Facebook and Instagram. And what we will do as well, we will run some giveaway campaigns where we give some people like 100 credits or something for testing, and we can get all these people coming in for the purpose of using their home IPs. And we can identify if they're not using proper IPs. We can identify that, we can block them. So we've got that kind of technology in the background as well. That technology is built that we can see exactly what is happening. We can find out, if people, if specific people have got really poor proxies or not using proxies and all that kind of stuff. We can see that from the technology. We can flag it and we can remove that person or remove that or stop his campaign, etc. All that is built in. That's a major difference from BidAttack as well. And by bulking up that membership, then we can get into the home IP stuff. So we have to start right now with the proxies, okay? And we do recommend using Squid proxies. They are the best. If you want to get a discount on Squid proxies, the easiest way to do it is to go to Black Hat World forum. Okay, it's on blackhatworld.com. If you go to their marketplace and you type in a search within their marketplace threads, you can find the Squid proxies 25% discount. And with that 25% discount, you can get 25 proxies for about $36. Okay. Now this was kind of expensive if you were using BidAttack, but when we're using it in SerpAttack and being able to get so much more mileage from those 25 or 50 proxies that you buy, then you can see it's real value for money. It is real value for money, but also you need to be using Capture as well. And we do recommend Capture, but it's not the only one that works well. Okay, whereas Squid we know works well all the time with the proxies. It's the ones I've used for years. It's the ones that works best with our software. But Capture solvers, you've got more than one option, but we find it Capture works very well. Now, what I suggest you do once we start to get these memberships starting to build is to try and identify other people that you can create some private groups with. And that way you can work with people that have got good quality proxies like Squid proxies, for example, and you can say you can have that assurance that your campaigns are going to go very smoothly because you all want your campaigns to work. It's not hard to within the Skype group. for example, to say, look, I'm looking for some people that only use squid proxies. Okay, that only use squid proxies. I want to create a group of 10 people so that we're 10xing the mileage on our proxies. And, you know, it's not going to be hard to find 10 people, like-minded people, who just want to get the job done, who don't want to mess about. There's always going to be that one or two that can be, you know, think they're clever, etc. They're going to use cheaper proxies. And that's okay if you want to use cheaper proxies. Just go and create another private group and tell people what kind of proxies you're using, and you create a group just for you. But we will notice from the public groups, if anybody's using any cheap proxies, we're going to have to pause the campaigns, etc. if they're holding it back. If they're holding it back, we can tell if it's holding back. So we will be able to identify that pretty quickly and see if there's anything happening there. And that is a major advantage, having that kind of technology, that kind of reporting that we've got server side. As developers, we can see, you know, anything like that. Okay. Other differences with VidAttack, well, you can do multi-threaded in here. You've got multi-threads in VidAttack, but the multi-threads in VidAttack it will do more than one project at one time. The multi-thread in SerpAttack is doing more threads for the one project, which you cannot do in VidAttack. You cannot say, like, I want 10 threads on that one specific project. If you set up 10 threads on VidAttack, that will be for 10 different campaigns. If you've only got 4 campaigns, it will only run on 4 threads maximum. That's the limitations of VidAttack. But here with the SerpAttack, you can run multiple threads, and you can do that within one project. Okay. And what I suggest to do, I just come back in here again. I think I'm going to have to actually pause that campaign before I come back in. Click on pause over here. You can see the campaign paused here. If I come back into the desktop tool, and we've got some settings that we can make sure we're running the computer with the running, you know, based on the computer's resources. If I come into the settings here, and I come into the SerpAttack settings, you can see we've got numbers of threads for personal projects, and we've got numbers of threads for group projects. Okay, so we can see here my group projects, I'm making it less because I'm prioritizing my own personal projects. There might be time you think, okay, I just want to drip feed my projects. You make it down to 2, and you can maybe increase the threads on your group projects.
Through my online store alone, we sold over 500.
Well, one of them's got an advert playing at the beginning. And basically that's what we can do with this. You know, that extra power that we've got there with those settings, you can manipulate this to, you know, just get through some projects that you want to share for other people, or you can prioritize your own as well. Okay. Hopefully that will stay quiet for a while. I think it's going to run one more time, then it's going to stop it because I told it to pause. Okay. The other thing about this is you can use unlimited desktop tool installs. Why? Because we're working on a credit system, so it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to us how many installs you do with the desktop tool. You can only access one account from your web application, and whatever credits you got there, well, you can distribute. The credits get distributed from the installs that you got. There's absolutely no reason for us to minimize that to 1 or 2 computer, because it's all in a credit-based system. So what you can do here is you can actually give your instance a name for each computer. So you can see this one is Lenovo Gamer laptop. I've got another one that's called Yellow something, and I've got another one that's called something else. And I've got this basically in about 4 or 5 different computers. And the benefit is that you don't have that noise popping up. You can just switch off the volume on your computers if you've got more than one computer and just run it in the background on those different computers. And that helps to get your group projects done very quickly as well, so that you can take advantage of getting those other credits back for you, and you can get through those projects really quickly. So there's no limitation on the desktop installs, absolutely none. I don't intend to put any there. If you've got 50,000 credits and you've got a virtual assistant or 2 virtual assistants, you can say to them, can you please install this? Here's the details you need to put in there, and you control everything. You don't even need an assistant to go and do your campaigns. These campaigns literally take like 2 minutes. 3 minutes maximum, absolute maximum. It's very, very quick and easy. You just got to fill in some fields. It's not hard to do. and you can run that. Okay, so that's one of the big differences as well. Okay, now how the credits work from now, what's going to happen, anybody who's coming in now, I'm being really generous. Not only are we offering up to 50,000 credits, but I'm actually offering twice the value of those credits. Okay, because later the credits will be 1 credit for 5 minutes. But people coming in now, they get 10 minutes for every credit. Okay, so that could be 10 minutes of blog browsing or 10 minutes of video views. If your video is 11 minutes, that's going to use 2 credits. Okay, anything over 10 minutes uses an extra credit. So this 10 minutes credit is actually very good value. If you look at what other people are charging, here's one over here. These guys are charging from $197 a month for 6,000 credits. $297 a month for 12,000 credits. We give them 50,000 for $297 one-time cost. They're charging $297 a month for 12,000. That's crazy, absolutely crazy. Now, you could argue like, okay, well, they've got real people. We will also have real people too, and one of the ways we're going to get real people is providing real value that we can get people to come in. So the credits are working like that, just keeping it very simple, not complicated. It shouldn't be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. And it's the same if you're using bulk views or CTR. I really don't care which way you use it. It makes no difference to the resources on our servers if you're using CTR clicks. Okay. Other people would say, well, CTR clicks are higher value. You should charge more credits. Well, my thinking right now is I don't care. I really don't care. It's not costing more resources. In fact, it costs less resources than bulk. So I'm not going to put the price different for that. So one video view, if you got a webinar, for example, which I like to do webinars, and this can work really well for ranking webinars as well. Say the webinar's 50 minutes, then that's going to be 5 credits for every time that full video is viewed. Now, if I get to run that 100 times, then that's going to be 500 credits. If I run that 1,000 times, then it's 5,000 credits. You can see how the credits can get used up. And it's still great value at that particular point. Okay, it's still really huge value, but you can see how that can work really beneficial, especially if you've got something that is about sales. You want to sell something, you want to promote something. If you increase the watch time, CTR clicks, whatever, even just if you did the bulk views in this, if you did like 1,000 bulk views, and you have that extra watch time, that extra retention time being built up, you can see how powerful that is for something like a webinar, for longer form videos. It's really powerful because the ranking factors are the watch time, are the retention time, and especially if you can do the click afterwards for the end screen videos. Well, the click afterwards could be, click here, it could be something about bonuses. Say, for example, I was promoting something. Then the end screen video could be to go and play some video about bonuses. So you've been able to put those two together in a way that it makes complete sense. And when real people actually do come, once you've got your rankings, then they're going to be able to see the video as well as see it as well, the information about the bonuses and stuff. So you'll be able to use that for being able to take advantage of the ranking factors built into YouTube. The credits as well, the universal credits, okay? That's for CTR for bulk, but we've also got different for different types of campaigns. So you can see in here, if I go into the campaigns, click on edit. We got campaigns for playlist views. Now, if you want to do playlist views, you get 2 options. You can play the first video and then use another IP, then come back and watch the first video. Use another IP, come back and watch the first video again and again. Okay, that is a good way to do it if your video is like the top of the playlist. So when you create your playlist, put your video first, okay? And that can increase the CTR for your video. It can increase the bulk watch time, etc., etc. Also, you can use full playlist views. The way you would use that is if that playlist is actually yours within your channel. What you're doing is you're increasing the watch time on YouTube from your channel, which is again a ranking factor. That's an extra ranking factor, which is kind of important. And also we can do embedded views as well. So if your video's on medium.com, on Quora.com, on Blogger, on different places, then that can work. There's two things I haven't been able to do yet. I will get them to look into it. The first one I want to make sure that we can do is to watch videos that are on the Chrome store. So if anybody's using Lead Blast and you're using a video on the installation page for Chrome extensions, then if we can hit that, then that can be really powerful, because the Chrome store ranks really well. I mean, really well. It doesn't even need backlinks. But if we bulk it up with views, video views, etc., it makes it even more powerful. The beauty of that strategy for that particular, I mean, that's a whole strategy in itself. It probably deserves a whole video, a whole webinar and so on, because with the Chrome extensions, you're able to get rankings without backlinks for really competitive keywords. But sometimes you need that extra push, and that extra push doesn't necessarily have to be backlinks, okay? That extra push could be something as simple as this, where you could go and get, like, 50 CTR clicks on Google, or 100 CTR clicks on Google, or 1,000 CTR clicks on Google over a period of time. That will start to rank for really, really competitive keywords. The Chrome store ranks really well. I mean, really powerfully well. I've had situations where I've just, I've done some keyword research on places like Othersuggest, and I've seen different keywords that have got high search volume. I've taken those keywords, I put it into the Chrome extension description on the Chrome store, and within a few hours, you start ranking for those keywords. And some of those keywords have got like thousands of search volume. Now, if that can happen without backlinks, that shows you the power of the Chrome store. So if we're able to go and do some embedded video views from that as well, then you can see how powerful that can be, especially if it's done with the CTR. But even if it's done just with the bulk, then it can work as well. But it's definitely worth testing. The other one I want to check out is the local stuff with the Google My Business stuff. I think they're actually changing something with the Google My Business. I'm not so clued up with the local stuff anymore, but it's another opportunity that we should be looking at, that we can take advantage. But this is really centered with videos, okay? We really center this with videos. I'm not really that interested with clicking about on GMB page. I'm not, it's just not where I want to go with this. I want to keep it simple, I want to keep it effective, I want to keep it working. And we know that you can do video views on YouTube and on Google with that one link in description, and it can affect what is happening for whatever that link is, even if it's a GMB page. So that goes back to the SerpAttack strategy, whereas if I'm doing like 150 high retention views for a specific keyword, then whatever link is in the description, whether it's a GMB page, whether it's a Chrome extension page, whether it's a landing page, sales page, it's going to start ranking for that particular keyword. As long as the retention is there, as long as the CTR clicks is there. You saw it yourself from the screenshots I showed you. That is, coming straight from Google themselves. So that works, and that kind of thing does work. I can make it really powerful. So that's what we will be adding in as well. All right, so I kind of covered, ideas for using these. We will do some strategies, etc. Let's see what I haven't covered. Yeah, some new features I want to work on. Well, the things that I just mentioned with the GMB and with the Chrome extension, those are important because those can bring in a lot of traffic, especially the Chrome store. Huge amounts of traffic from there. You can build audiences straight from the Chrome store just with the amount of traffic there. If you've got something like Lead Blaster, and what I will do is I will give everybody a Lead Blaster app for Chrome store. So you get one app license. Anybody who buys SerpAttack, I'll give you one app license. It's got extra benefits as well, and that's the reason I want to give it away. It's not just one app. You're actually getting a push notification system. You're actually getting as well an SMS marketing system that you can build SMS and push notifications. And you can also take advantage of being able to publish those as well. So you're not just building the list, but you've actually got a publishing system and a full-blown SMS marketing system where you can send sequences like autoresponders, or you can send as well like broadcasts, like email broadcasts, but with SMS. You can do the same thing with push notifications as well. And the push notifications, they're the big, rich media ones that people are charging like monthly fees to use, you know, with the push notification system. We've got it all built in. As soon as somebody installs one of your Chrome extensions, you've already got them on your push notifications list. You can start to send them. And if you've got, like, say, for example, people who've got like 10, 20, 50 of these Chrome extensions, anybody who's installed any of them, you can send a push notification to all of them at one time, which can be really highly effective. But I don't want to go into the lead blasters stuff too much, but I did want to make this more valuable for people, because once you understand the power that's built into the Chrome store and how we can use SerpAttack for it, then, you know, I want you to try it, because I want you to come back and buy more apps. And I want you to come back and buy the Android version of it as well, because we've got Chrome extension version, we've got Android version. So it's definitely worth my time to give you even just one app free. But from your point of view, you're getting a full-blown system for push notifications and for SMS marketing. Okay, that's really, really, really powerful. Okay. The other stuff that we want to add, well, the pushing for new members, there's a couple of ways we're going to do that. We're going to do some giveaways, viral giveaways, via Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and maybe even try some others like TikTok. I might even try Google search or Google display. I might get away with it now with Google display, but not on YouTube. I won't try it with YouTube. And also, we will start to build in as well some traffic bumping tasks, okay, traffic tasks. That's when we've got the home IPs up. I'm not going to build this before. And what that's going to do is things like forums and Quora, for example, it can go in and upvote for you. So if you put a question in Quora, or if you've answered a question in Quora, or you've embedded a video in Quora, then it can actually go and upvote your answer. So not just like the embedded views, this can actually go and upvote. Okay, so we're going to do that once we got some home IPs. And the reason for that is because I don't want people to go crazy with it. It's not hard to bump up, or to get enough. You know, it's not. You don't need huge amounts of upvotes. And if you got people that are using proxies and they've got like 10,000 upvotes, it just looks unnatural, and then they start to look for the bot behavior. So we're only going to do that when we got home IPs, and that will mean that people need to actually be logged into a particular forum, for example, for being able to leave a comment or like or to upvote, for example, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of things we will build, but they will come one at a time. I might start with forums first and then go into Quora, and it will be based on forum types. Okay, we've got different kinds of software that builds forums, so we will have to like code it for one type and then code another type, etc., etc. But those kind of tasks, or these traffic tasks, we can add them on a regular basis. It won't all happen at one time. It will happen steadily over time. What we identify, and those kind of things can make it fun as well, because it really should be kind of fun doing this kind of stuff. We should be looking forward to, you know, doing stuff like that, because it just gets results. It gets traffic. You can get a huge amount of traffic from forums, and you can get a huge amount of benefits from Quora as well, because they rank very, very well. Both forums and Quora rank very well. All right, so that's basically all I wanted to tell you for the SerpAttack stuff right now. You see that campaign is finished and it goes blank, and there's no more to do. Rank checker in here as well. We will build more in here. I want to put some keyword stuff in here as well. And that can come over hopefully in the next few days if I can get my coder back to work. His mother just died recently, and his father's very ill now as well, so he's not around as much as he normally is, but he's still in the background, so hopefully we can get some progress in the next few days. All right, so John, the OTO link, I wasn't aware that I had an OTO link in here. I need to revisit that later, John. There shouldn't be an OTO link in there right now. Normally you have to, if there is an OTO, then it's a real OTO, you have to buy the front end before that one is available. You've got two options in Zaxa where you can do like an evergreen OTO that anybody can buy if they bypass that front one. or you have like a real OTO where people have to buy the front end or something like that. I honestly can't remember doing that, but we will look at it. I will introduce some new pricing very, very soon. I think I'm going to run this for maybe another 2 or 3 days with the current pricing. This is crazy pricing, really, really, really crazy pricing. And you can see when you compare it to other people how crazy my pricing is, but it's deliberate so that we can get the people in so that we can start to bulk this up. Markets, what will be the renewal price for the credits? Well, you can get it the same price. If you buy now this, you can get the same price. I will keep that for you. Okay, it might be a case where you have to contact support and ask for your personal coupon code or something like that. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'll keep the same price for you. So anybody new coming in after a few days, what we will do is we will put some recurring prices that will take away the one time for a short period. And then when I introduce the one time again, or I might just introduce both at the same time if I get time to do it. I've got a lot to do with the traffic sculpting stuff, so I don't know how exactly this is going to unfold, but we will start to introduce a recurring monthly over the next week, which is going to be not the same pricing as far as the credits, etc. It's going to be a bit higher once we get into the monthly. If you want to buy the one time, then we got one-time options for as little as $97. Okay, so you know that option's there for most people can at least get into the 97 just to secure a really, really, really good deal for these credits. And I will later remove these prices for the one time, probably in about 2 or 3 days time. I'm going to take them away. It's not yet selling as well as I had hoped. It's not yet selling. I thought this would sell a lot more. I thought everybody who had VidAttack Alpha would think, I need to get this, because they understand that using the proxies is a limitation in VidAttack Alpha. But now your proxies are suddenly got huge amounts more mileage in them. You don't have to be limited to just 2 views per IP. You don't if you've got 25 proxies at $36 a month. Well, now you've got instead of 50 views per video, you've got like, if you've got 10 people in a group, that's 500 views for multiple videos for $36 a month. That makes perfect sense, and even the SerpAttack should be costing more than the proxies, but for now, get people in, people from my own list, people have been buying from me for years. I want them to come in and start to use this, and so that you can take advantage of this as well, and we can bulk up that membership initially with people who understand the concept, who understand the strategy, who understand what the tool is, because you might have had VidAttack Alpha before, or some of those extensions that we did recently. And what we were doing with those extensions actually is we were testing the extensions before we built them into SerpAttack. It was kind of done deliberately. I even gave away some of those extensions as bonuses, just so that I could get people using them and waiting for the feedback to come in via support, etc. That's basically what we were doing there. And those new features or new strategies that we can create and add, we will do that over time. There will be more as we go forward with it. It's not, even though I'm getting more into the YouTube ad stuff, this is still important. Even though I've not really done much with this for months, it's still important. I've still been using VidAttack, from time to time, not always, but from time to time. And this is likely to be used more even by myself, but probably what I will do is I will make, I will create a private group. I just want maybe 10 or 12 or 20 people max in a private group who are all using Squid proxies. I don't want to use any other proxies. So although we will do some stuff in the public groups, you can go and create your private groups as well. And you can just go and get a few people that you can trust, a few people you can rely on, who will have the desktop tool open. The desktop tools need to be open for this to work. It doesn't have to be open all day. You could just say, okay, I'm going to open this for about 3 or 4 hours a day, or you can do it overnight, or just keep it on a separate computer where it's open, which is what I will be doing. And that way, everybody gets to do each other's views, and doing views for other people benefits you. okay, so that we can get the campaigns done quicker. But it can only work with the people who are who have the desktop tool open at that time. If they don't have the desktop tool open at that time, they can't possibly view. So that's the beauty of the groups. That's why I created the groups, where we've got private groups, where you can just, within the Skype group, you can create your own Skype group, like 10 or 12 people, where you have your own discussions. And you can, just say, like, everybody who's coming into this group, we need 25 squid proxies, $36 a month, and we need 10 people. And that's going to give us 500 views per video, whether it's CTR views or bulk views. And if you want to do bulk views, you might want to get more people in, okay? But it gives you that benefit. Bulk views are better done as well. If you're going to do the bulk views, I would also put, you can put your projects into more than one group. You can put it into a private group, but you can also, just to bulk it up, can put it into a public group, so you get more. And everybody will get added into a public group. Everybody should be in the public group, so that we're just doing some views for each other, and the campaigns get results faster for you and for other people too. All right. So we've got more questions. Raheem, yeah, if you're buying in now, you'll be able to get, okay. All you need to do at that time, I will think of a more efficient system, but all you need to do at that time when you want to buy more is just write into support, just send an email, support@anthonyhayes.me, and just send in your receipt at the same time. Just keep a copy of it somewhere on your desktop or something, and send it in at the same time. And as long as you have purchased, then you will get, the same price. I might have to create a coupon code for you until I create a better system. I would like, ideally, that we could have a purchase option within here, within the web app, that you could just go there and top up. It's something we can look at and we can work on, but I need to build in some more features before I get to that point. So that might be, a few months down the line. But if you're buying in now, then I will keep the price for you now. Okay. So this first off was really aimed at my own email list. I haven't done any webinars with any other affiliates yet for this, but I probably will over the next sort of few days. I will put the same offer to them if it's a good affiliate, if it's somebody who I work closely with, and who, you might see the same price pop up, but it won't be for every affiliate. It just won't be. I will do my sort of inner circle of affiliates that I usually work with, and they promote for me, I promote for them, etc. If the products fit. So you might see it again, you might see it pop up again, but ideally what we want to do is we want to get this into a place where I've got some testimonials, I've got some reviews, we can show some real value from it, and I can use that to be able to pull in people that we can take advantage of their home IPs. If we can bulk this up to thousands of people in the membership, by doing some giveaways, by doing some ads, by doing some dollar trials, or whatever it might be, if I can bulk that up, that gives us access to more home IPs. Okay, and once we've got access to more home IPs, we're going to start to see really good results, because we can not only do video views where people are logging into their real YouTube channels, but we can get things like maybe commenting. I don't know how yet we could do that, but I'm pretty sure we could. And we can distribute comments, etc., to be done from real people logging into real YouTube accounts, where we can do things like liking and subscribing and all that kind of stuff. That is all possible, but we need to bulk the membership up first. So it could be a very, very exciting project if we can get everybody on board and everybody playing the game the way it should be played. But it does need people to put on the computers, to put the desktops on the computers. Okay, so let's see, we've got more questions. Okay, John, I will, if you send into support, I think you might have already sent into support. I'm waiting for, just give me a couple of days on the monthly ones. Okay, I didn't even know there was an OTO page there. It must have been something I did before within lead pages that I'd forgotten about. I thought I just did the front page, but we will put that in there. You won't lose anything. You will not lose that opportunity. Okay, let's see. Okay, thanks, Sterling. I'll check it out. I can't activate it right now, but we will. Once it's activated, I will tell you. You will have that same link, that same offer, whatever that offer is. I can't even remember what that offer was. I probably built a funnel. That sales page, I'd actually sort of pre-built that a few months back. So I probably built it into a funnel. But when I decided to release this like 2 or 3 days ago, then I forgot there's an OTO page. I just wanted to get it out. I just made a ridiculous offer to get people in, especially the SerpAttack Alpha people. I really wanted the SerpAttack Alpha people to see the value of this and think this is good. How many campaigns would you need to do in SerpAttack Alpha to get 50,000 CTR clicks? That's a hell of a lot. It's like a lifetime amount. Okay, that's like a lifetime amount. But if you want to use this properly, you want to do like the bulk views, you've got a lot more scope. And especially when I start to share some strategies, I've got 5 different rank attack strategies now. We had the original one, which was getting the CTR clicks from Google and YouTube, having that one link in the description. And then we would do some video sharing site links coming back into that YouTube video. And plus we did some bookmarking, etc. We were using Video Send Alpha at that particular time. Well, we can do better. We can do better than that now. There's better strategies than that now. Actually, the better results is coming now from doing press releases. Press releases where you can get 300 or 400 links on high domain authority sites that are not spam to hell. Okay, they're not being spammed and saturated where they become devalued, like some of those video sharing sites. What's happening now? If you look in places like AppSumo, you will see now there are tools being sold for about $40 or $50 that can syndicate your video, a live video, to about 40 different locations at one time. That takes away the value from the tools that we had before, like SerpAttack Alpha. That's why we're retiring that particular tool. I can't compete with that. I don't want to compete with that. I would rather do something more interesting with YouTube ads than try to struggle with that particular tool. So, I did look for alternatives, and I've been using some alternatives as well. Press releases, they work perfectly. They don't even have to be long, sort of written press releases. We actually have a little service. I managed to find a place where we could get some white label press release services that I could sell quite cheap, but really, really high quality, where we can get 300 links. And those are going to high domain sites, and you've even got some Google News syndication in there as well. And I think we were selling the first time at $29, but I need to raise the price because I wanted to get some feedback from it. But what I want to do is include just a cookie cutter press release that you just fill in the blanks. And all you're going to do is when you order, you just fill in the blanks and you tell us what your press release is going to be about just by filling in the blanks. Almost as quick as filling in requirements in the Fiverr gig. And that comes to us, and then I will get admin to go and post that press release, and within a couple of days you've got like 300 plus links. And those are from sites that are not being spammed the hell out of, because a lot of people might be using press releases, but they're not using it the same way that they're using like Tumblr links and stuff like that, where they're just blasting all the time. I mean, we have tools that you can go and create like thousands of Tumblr accounts and post into every single one of them, all within probably, an hour max, absolute max. You could do like 1,000 Tumblr accounts and post into them really, really fast, all automated in a couple of clicks. There's other tools doing the same kind of things. Those sites are oversaturated now. When you think about what we can do with the press release sites, where you've got less people using them because there's an obstacle to using them. The obstacle being, well, they cost a bit of money, and also it's kind of hard to write a press release if you don't know how to write them. And often press releases get rejected. Okay, so what I've done is I've created a template that I use every single time, and all I do is I fill in the blanks. So it's almost the same press release, just a different topic, but the same format, just a different topic, almost the same wording, just a different topic, and it gets accepted every time. That way I can make it efficiently, make it more efficient. Now, if you're using that and you're taking your video and you're distributing that and it's got 2 links in your description and you're doing some bulk views and you're doing maybe some sequence stuff, we can get into some crazy strategies here that can be really highly effective, whether we're using proxies or home IPs. So it can get quite exciting. Okay. Okay, the link to buy. Sorry, I forgot about that. I should have put that in here. Okay, let's go over to lead pages. If you get any more questions, guys, you can put it in. There we go. I'll put it into the chat up here. So this offer I'm going to keep for about 3 more days, maximum, absolute maximum 3 more days. I'm really targeting the VidAttack Alpha people. And if you look at the emails and the angles, it's just very simple angles. Like this is 100 times more powerful than the VidAttack. I'm just targeting those specific customers that we've had before who understand the strategy. It's important we get people come in and understand the strategy. And you know, you've got a far more efficient tool, a far better tool, far more exciting tool than VidAttack, and it's going to get better and better and better. As long as we've got the membership building up, we can do the home IPs as well. That makes things a lot easier as well. And you know, we will take feedback on things that we might want to add, but I don't want to get into the more difficult kind of stuff. I know there's other people got tools for like GMB, etc. I might look at it and, you know, find 2 things that are actually making a difference, whereas other tools might be trying to do 10 different things and only 2 of them are actually needed. We see that quite often with these kind of strategies, especially with new people coming into the market with the tools. They've been in 5 minutes and they don't understand the strategies. They're trying to focus on technical issues instead of strategy stuff, which is kind of understandable, but we've been doing this for like 7-8 years now. Since 2014, you know, we've seen a lot of things over that particular time, that period of time, that they don't know what they don't know, basically. And often when you're trying to make things more technical, you're trying to make things more difficult, you're trying to be more appealing to a specific kind of audience who like to get excited about, you know, black hat tactics and that kind of stuff. You're bypassing the stuff that actually works. Okay, we only need to identify what works. We don't need to identify more. We want to run efficient campaigns. It should be, you know, nice, fast campaigns that get results. That's all I want. Okay, I don't care about the rest of the stuff. A lot of the technical stuff is just bollocks that I've had been branded about for people who don't know what they don't know. And you know what we're doing here with this price point for the VidAttack Alpha customers, this is, you know, huge value. Absolutely huge value. You can even just tap in at $97, and people were paying more than that for some of those extensions that we did for VidAttack. So they should buy it. They should come in so that, you know, you can take advantage of this long time, this pricing long term. Okay. Sterling, you didn't receive a license kit. I need to check that. I did see something come in last night, but I'll be honest with you. When I saw that something come in last night, I sent a message to Gunpal, and I kind of was really tired at that time, so I went to bed because I needed to be up like 6 o'clock. This webinar started for me in the morning, so I needed to be up like 3 o'clock. So I'd gone to bed. I will check on that after the webinar. I need probably about an hour or 2, then I will check on it. You will have it all set up for you today. Okay, whatever happens, whether it takes 1 hour or 3 hours, I will have it all set up for you today. If you're in the tutorials area, you will see we've got a Skype group. If you go into the Skype group, I'm coming into Skype today. If you go into the Skype group, then I can deal with you direct in there so that we can get your license key to you, okay? Marcus, is there a way to get subscribers? Yes, but you need to be careful, okay? When we're doing the home IPs, I will put it in at some point, but I need to put in some kind of safety, okay? Here's the problem with subscribers. You can get subscribers from home IPs. Say, for example, we got 5,000 people or 1,000 people using home IPs, and you've got 1,000 people who are logging into their real YouTube channels. And maybe with the Google account, we come into YouTube accounts in here, Google account, they might have all of these different amount of channels. Is what, 3, 6, 9 channels I've got here. I've got others that have got like 50 channels or something. within a Gmail account. Now, the problem is that when you build up your subscriber count, it doesn't mean anything unless when you post a new video. Okay, when you post a new video, you're getting some CTR from those subscribers. Subscribers get notified when you post a video. So if you've got 1,000 subscribers and 5 of them watch your video, that is a negative. It comes back into the engagement signals as well. So you need to be careful with it. I would do that in a smaller group. You can do that within a smaller group where you say to people that I'm going to subscribe to you, you subscribe to me. And because when you're in that group, when you post a new video, you can create the project and put the project into the group and they're all going to watch it anyway. That way you got some safety. I hope that makes sense because it's really, really, really important. I've seen people try to buy subscribers on Fiverr.com. You're damaging yourself if you do that, because if you've got a large amount of subscribers, but when you do a new video, you've got very, very, very few of them watching, that is a negative. That's not positive. That goes the opposite way. That all comes down to the engagement signals again. It's the same kind of calculation. It's the same kind of equation. You've got to be careful with that. Okay, let's see. Okay, everything, I put the link into the description. I'll send it again one more time. Okay. All right, so that's all. Oh no, we've got more. We've got more questions. Yeah, Kofi, I put the links and you should have that. You will not get traffic sculpting course. No, you will not get traffic sculpting. I'll give you rank sculpting. I'll show you what rank sculpting is. I'm not giving you traffic sculpting. Traffic sculpting is actually specific for YouTube advertising. That's a separate product. It's a real high value product. We did a webinar on that yesterday. We were selling traffic sculpting for $9.97 not that long ago. Those people that bought at that price, well, they're getting lifetime anything that we add into AdBlast, and that's really where my focus is going to be for any new tools that we're building. I will still maintain tools like SerpAttack. I will still build out new features for SerpAttack, but I'm not looking to create any new sort of SEO tools unless I create small tools for like a bonus for a promotion or something. Sometimes I've got a webinar promotion I'm going to do for someone, and I can think of, you know, what's a missing piece. Like we did one time with the KGR tool, that was actually built for a bonus for Avis Ravji webinar, and that did really well to help promote that webinar. You know, I think we did very, very good sales on that, and then I kind of dropped it into Warrior Plus, but I'm not planning to build more SEO tools like the big ones, like the big suites, like the Toolkits and the VidCurate and those kind of tools. We will maintain the ones we're keeping, but we're not going to build any new big ones like that. More focus is going to be on traffic, instant traffic with the YouTube ads. So no, SerpAttack not included. Rank what am I talking about? Traffic sculpting is not included. Okay, let's see. This here is rank sculpting. Okay, this is a course. Rank sculpting is a course. You can see every part of this has got a video. I was going to charge $297 for this. This is worth every penny. And if you watch this, you'll be a lot smarter about YouTube SEO. You will learn things that you might not know. I did. And the reason this came about was when I was doing the YouTube SEO checklist, the newest one, I did again go through hundreds of videos from people like Brian Dean and AA Traps and a whole bunch of people you might never have heard of from the YouTube videos. And what I do every morning is I go cycling every morning. I cycle for about an hour and a half every morning, about it's now up to 19 kilometers, sometimes 20 kilometers if I go different routes. And that allows me to listen to about between 16 and 20 videos every morning. Okay, and so what I did at that time is I went through a whole bunch of YouTube SEO strategy videos, tactical videos, tutorials, methods, techniques, etc. And by the end of it, what would happen is when I come back home, the ones that were good, I would watch again and I would make notes. And so that's how we created, that's how I created the YouTube SEO checklist. okay? But the checklist is a checklist. It's just all the best parts. You know, here's some tips for before you upload your video. Here's some tips for when you're optimizing your video, when you're uploading it. Here's some post promotion tips, etc. Okay, but what I did is I put with the rank sculpting is I put this in an order that makes sense into a course that makes sense, so that every step is meaningful. So it's not just a checklist of here's some things you should do. Like here's an exact system, and it's got some of the best tips from people like Brian D. And it's got some of my stuff in here. It's got stuff that works, basically, stuff that we know that works, and you can go for all of that. So yeah, we were giving that away, and that was definitely, I was actually going to charge $297 for that. And then I was thinking, okay, don't charge $297. Let's put it into Warrior Plus and see how many people we can sell it to. In the end, I just never got around to it. So you can get a hold of that. That's really high value course. It's got some great training in there. It's got some really good training in there. It should not be skipped. It really shouldn't be skipped. You will learn some stuff. I did when I was going through it. Okay. Sterling, you've got 100 squid proxies. You don't need more. I wouldn't think you need more proxies. Press releases, I've taken it off. I will start to introduce those this week. The press releases, I'll start to introduce them later this week. How do you apply the 100 squid proxies? We will start to do some strategy videos. You only need as many proxies as the people within a private group. The way that I would use this, okay, honestly, the way I would use this, I would come in here, we're going to groups, and I would go into my groups, and you can go and create a new group, okay? What you can do is like 50 squid proxies SEO group, okay? So, or let's call it something different. Let's call it YouTube ads group. Okay, so maybe I've got like people from my traffic sculpting course who want to do like some bulk views for the ad videos. Maybe they want to increase the retention time. Maybe they want to bulk up the watch time because they're getting views from colder traffic kind of thing. So what we can do is we can just create a group, say for traffic sculpting members with 50 squid proxies can join this group, okay, something like that. And here's what we do then, is we can keep it private, we don't make it public. You can put in description, etc. I'll just put in here something in case it doesn't like me, okay. And we can click on save. Now I've got this group. What I want to do is I want to tell people to come in, okay. I want to tell people that they can apply to join this group. Now this over here, you can see we've got about, we've got members, we've got projects, and you can see the projects within any group, and you can see the activity, okay? And you can just give them a simple link to be able to get there. I'll cover that in a separate video. If I go into my groups again here, let's just see, I'm going to view the group. You can see the members, it's going to look something like this. And you will see the projects that are within the group as well. And you can remove these projects once they are done, or you can keep them there if you're going to run them further. But this is the best way to use it, in my opinion. Okay, I would still use the public groups, and I'm going to have to force people to use public groups for some time. But if you want to be really effective with this, then if you want to use like 100 proxies, then you want to get other people in the group that's got 100 proxies as well, or at least 50. I don't think you need to go and get more proxies. I think you need to get more people in the group. That gives you more mileage. And that gives you a lot more power. Okay, because if you've got 10 people with 100 proxies, then that's 1,000 views you can do. And plus you've got the public groups as well if you want to bulk up. That's just my opinion. That's what I would do. But you know, it's entirely up to you. You'll have your own strategies. Your strategies might be really more efficient for that kind of thing. So you know, just play around with it and test it. It's built for you to have flexibility, for you to be able to, you know, create these groups that you are very specific on the rules of who comes in. You can use that sort of description area there where you saw that I just sort of bypass that, you can put in here, say only squid proxies users. And later you can have another one, only home IP users, and kind of thing. You can maybe put like 100 people in the home IP. If you got 100 people in the home IP, okay, and they are doing CTR clicks, and then they're going into their real YouTube, they're logged into real YouTube, you can see how powerful that can be, because that's real IPs and real YouTube channels, and they're doing things like liking and or commenting or whatever the engagement might be, social sharing, all that can be done. All of it can be coded, all of it can be made possible. There we go. Let's see. Sterling, you can put it on VPS if you want. That's entirely up to you. You're not limited to how many places you can install it. You can get as many, you can install as many as you want. I haven't put any limitation on that. So if you want to put it in a VPS that's got, you can put like 4 different, I forgot the name, what they call it. You can put 4 different servers on it, then you can do that. If you want to put on 10 different places, you can do that. You can use on a VPS, you can use on spare computers. That's what I do. I use spare computers, and I just let it run. It doesn't bother me, because then I switch off the volume, because it needs that initial start to play the video. It kind of needs that. There's no way to bypass that. There's nothing I can do except for turn the volume down. And of course, you can make the campaigns show the window if you want to. So you can tell it, make the web browser visible if you want to, but I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't do that. Just let it run in the background. It's simpler for everybody. Let's see what else we got here. Hayden, I will share the press release product. I need to go back and reinstate my white label status there, and I haven't done that for some time, because we were not selling that many at the time. I didn't promote it properly at the time. I got distracted with the YouTube ad stuff. I should have probably followed that more. But even the press releases, it's a very, very, very good product for if you're running a video on ads as well, because it just gives you that extra traffic that's coming in, that's giving some engagement signals and watch time and all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, Raheem, you get the rank sculpting course. Okay, you will get that. I think I've already got that in the tutorials page. If you go into the resources, you got rank sculpting checklist there. If you go into resources, I will make this page more pretty. Since Tanya left, the pages have not been so pretty. She was good at that kind of stuff, but I will see if we can create a template that we can use again and again, so that it just becomes more and more familiar. But it's there. Your rank sculpting checklist is there. YouTube SEO checklist is there. There's a link as well for YouTube ads spy tool. That can be useful when you see what other people are doing. If you're in a specific niche, check it out and see what people are advertising, what people are spending money on. Check it, see what's working for them as well with the ads, because if people are spending money on ads, it can give you some good angles that you might want to copy. A link to other suggest is another keyword tool here. In fact, there's another keyword tool I came across I've never seen before, and it's actually very good. I wonder if I've got it here. No. Where did I put that one? I'll put it in. There's another keyword tool I'll put in here. I don't have it right now. I've got it in one of these browsers, but I might have. I don't want to click about all the different browsers. Another thing with this is the reports. Okay, let's click on reports, because this was basically a campaign where we imported some data just so we would see how this worked. So you can see this one, 998 views. This is not real views. We just imported some data just to, have a look and see what it would look like. And you can see what it can look like. You can see things like the daily views and keyword rank history. And you can change your keyword over here. So that one is for SerpAttack, and you can see the rank history for that. You can see rank history for this one, automated crowdsourced SEO. That's the keywords. You can see the rank history if it's moving up or down. So you might want to come in here and think, oh, I better go and get some more CTR clicks. You see how much more powerful it is than VideoTech Alpha when you got that kind of information. Come down here, you can see the error summary. You can see all of this is equal because we just imported. You can see if you've got capture problems, connection problems, didn't find your keyword if it's a CTR, if you stopped it, for example, viewer session timed out, so you can get an idea of what's happening here. And you can see some graph here as well. So, we've got some good things in there. We've got some neat features in here, but I don't want to make it overly complicated. I want to keep it as simple as possible because keeping it simple makes it easier to maintain and it makes it more efficient for everybody just to use it, get results and not get overwhelmed, because a lot of people will get overwhelmed if we make it more difficult. I can make it more technical, but I don't want to. No, it can only, if your views don't get viewed, no, you can't be charged for them. It can only charge if views are done. It's not, if you've failed views is not a view, so you don't get charged for it. But remember, if you do like a 5-minute video, that's 1 credit, and if you do an 11-minute video, that's 2 credits. I've got no way around that. I needed to keep it simple so that we can, work with it. That's just the way it is. So bear that in mind. If you want to use that, if that's important to you, just bear it in mind. And it is kind of important if you want to go and get a huge amount of views. Well, you might just want to keep your videos more efficient, or as efficient as possible, so that you can get through it. In the rank sculpting course, you will see some stuff for video scripts as well that can help you to keep your videos on point and keep it more efficient. You will find the top YouTubers, they are recording the video last. They're doing all the preparation. The script is written, thumbnails are done, the SEO research is done, all that kind of stuff. You will see when you go through the rank sculpting course how they do it. It's interesting. And the very last thing they do is they start to record the video in chunks, small pieces. Some of them work from script word for word, some of them working from bullet points, but they keep it short. And then they record the next part, then they record the next part, then they record the next part. So the videos look like they're fast flowing, and then they get some video editor, maybe somebody on Fiverr, who will put in some pattern interrupts and stuff like that. And it's it's quite a process. The editing process is quite a process compared to anything I do. And some of them are very, very, very good with it as well. But they get results. They know what they're getting. They know what they're expecting. More importantly, they're actually expecting results. It's not they're hoping for it. They're expecting. That's such a good course to go through. Really, everybody should go through that. Just watch it at least one time. Watch it at 2x speed if you need to, but watch it. It's got some good information there. It's not all my own information. It's coming from them. It's the better stuff on the YouTube SEO checklist. The YouTube SEO checklist doesn't have videos for each step. This has videos for each step. And I've taken the best parts of it and put it into that course. That's why I was going to charge $297. Go for it. It's definitely worth going for. I might even listen to it myself. I hate listening to my own videos, but just to remind myself some of the stuff, and it's got incredible information. Should watch that. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming in yet. All right. Okay, so I'm going to finish up now. I will send an email later with this replay, and I will put the replay on that same sales page. It will be on the same page, so if anybody wants to watch it again, you can go into that page. As far as the OTO page is concerned, I will look at it. I honestly forgot it was there. I didn't know it was there. So whatever's there, I will activate. So if you want to take advantage of that, I will let you take advantage of that. You'll be able to do that. You're not going to be missing out on anything, I should say. Well, you're getting more mileage from the proxies for the VideoTech. Okay, so Carl was asking, you've already got VideoTech, is there any benefit besides getting more proxies? Well, you can work in groups and you can do a lot more with this as far as what you can see with your keywords and stuff like that. If I come back to the project, etc., you can come down. Where's my reporting? Come out of reporting. So you can go and see where your keywords are ranking over time. You can go and see, you know, if something needs topped up. If you start to lose some rankings, you might have to bulk up again with some video views and some CTR clicks. You can get this kind of stuff as well. You can see any errors. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that I went through at the beginning, and the differences between SerpAttack Alpha. You got multi-threaded for one project as well. And you've got crowdsourced views where everybody's watching each other's views. We got home IP features. Once we got enough members, we can start to use that properly for the home IPs. You know, there's multiple benefits. It's a lot more powerful than SerpAttack. So it's you know, if it's not important to you about the proxies, then you're probably okay with just SerpAttack if that's what you wanted to do. But as this gets bigger, as this membership gets bigger, and we can start to tap into the home IPs, it becomes even more powerful, even though it's going to be less views being able to do with the home IPs, because not everybody's going to do like 50 or 100 views each. You can't do that with the home IPs, but it's real YouTube accounts they're logging into and using from their actual computers. So there's no proxies at that point. That's really powerful. So yeah, there's big differences, but not immediately. We need to build up the membership before we can get to the whole IPs. Okay, Chuck, thank you. All right, so I think we can finish up now. Okay, so keep an eye and watch the countdown for this. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Even if you just buy into the $97 package, that means you can keep topping up that $97 package over time. Okay, don't miss out on this. Really don't miss out on this. It will get better, and it will get better from you guys making it better. It is a crowdsourced product. As far as, you know, making it work, it's a crowdsourced product and how good it's going to be. And the feedback we get from you as well is really important. So if we got, you know, ideas for features, if we get ideas to make it more efficient, I'll take it on board if it's good, if it's workable, if it makes sense, if it doesn't overcomplicate things, fine. You know, we can do stuff. We've done that already with this, just from the case study group. We've added a couple of tweaks. We've added some different proxies as well, and I took them out again because they started off okay, then they kind of became not okay, and I removed them. But we tried it, and we built in an API for those proxies, but it would just, you know, sometimes they'd work and sometimes they went, and people would blame the software. Say your software isn't working. You say no, it's not the software. It's that API from those proxies, because when I do the same campaign with Squid, it works. There's no problem. And so you have that back and forth, etc. And in the end, you have to take it away because everybody's getting pissed off because it's holding it back. You've got people using those proxies holding back the whole group kind of thing. That's why we need to be using the private groups, and that's why we had to build in to get flagged from the developer side if there's a problem, so that we can see it. If we can see it, we can identify it, we can go into that account and stop their campaign or remove that person if they keep insisting and, you know, messing stuff up for other people. That might happen from time to time. I don't want it to happen, but you can just imagine that people might do so, that kind of thing. So the private groups are really important for everybody to be able to create them. Just go and get 10 people. 10 people is enough to do your private groups for the proxy stuff, and you can get that's 10x results of SerpAttack. And plus, it's doing these campaigns really fast as well. If you got webinars, for example, this can be really good. You can rank for really good keywords by doing webinars. Why? Because it's longer form content, and the retention that you can do with that is going to be high. And the retention and the watch time that you can do with that is going to be high. And you can be, you know, if you're doing some things like affiliate marketing. Like I did an interview a few days ago with Joshua Zamora for his studio, I can't remember the name of the studio or something like that. He's got this really cool tool. It's actually a fantastic tool. He did a demo for me, and we had a Q&A section at the end, a session at the end. It was like 40 minutes because he had to go through all the features, and all the features were incredible. It would actually go and write the video script. It would have a beginning, a middle, and a call to action. I've never seen AI do that kind of thing. But when you take a video like that, right, or you take a recording of that interview and presentation, it's got that 45 minutes or whatever it was, and you put that into a system like this, then we can go and target that keyword, and we can have confidence that if people are doing the views from the desktop tools and we're getting those high retention views, that can pay off really well for affiliate marketers. That's one of the best affiliate marketing strategies that I've ever personally done when you do those kind of interviews. And the cool thing is that you can go and find videos like that. You can go and find videos like that, and you can take the transcription, for example, and with that transcription, you can get somebody on Fiverr.com to, record some of it. Well, it's not all of it, but you can record just some of it, so you've got some part of a different video there. But you can still use their presentation, or you can take a presentation from a JV page and put it into that kind of a format. And that works really well. That converts really, really, really well. But if you can get somebody on a call yourself, though. That has never not worked for me. It's never not worked for me. Even not just from email list people, but also when I put it onto YouTube, where people have just come across the video and started to watch it, I make sales. With that kind of thing, if you can do that often enough, you will get to the point where, as long as you're able to rank those videos, those sort of presentation demo with a 5-minute Q&A session, the benefit of them is people see it's real. The benefit of it is people see that product creator. They can see there's a human being there, not just a name with a picture. And they can see as well that, the benefits of that tool, because that person is being asked questions about his project that he knows he knows his product better than anybody else. So you can just let them talk. You're not really actually doing anything. All I do with that is I just make notes. And I've never had the situation where that did not work to make money. Now, if you did that, say you did that just one time a week, if you were into affiliate marketing, if you did something like that one time a week, you could be making money every single day for a long, long time, really for a long time. If you don't have a money-making strategy with internet marketing, if you're still kind of looking for that kind of opportunity, there's 2 things you should be doing. That is one of them I would definitely do. I would do affiliate marketing, okay, with that kind of a strategy, and I would be doing list building for that. It's really important that you build your list, but it's really important as well that you have a nice strategy that's easy to execute. And the way that you can make sure that you can monetize that is you're going to drive traffic from YouTube ads as well. So you can build up your audiences in YouTube ads and build up remarketing audiences. And you can tap into them whenever you do one of those. If you were doing like a video demo like that, even one time a week, and by the end of the year you had, like, say 40 of them, maybe you got lazy in 12 weeks, you had 40 of them, I guarantee you'll be making money every single day, and it could be very, very, very significant money. People do vlogging, right? And how long do they spend doing vlogging? How long do they spend doing promotions with things like that? Some of those guys, they will take weeks to write a blog post. Seriously, I write a blog post like in a few hours. Sometimes it takes me a few days if I get really into it. But some guys will spend weeks. People like Brian Dean, for example, if you have a look at his blog post, they're epic. He's doing his skyscraper technique and stuff like that. Well, you can do that more efficiently with video by doing something like this, right? And you can be getting traffic from YouTube ads instead of doing the promotion stuff, which takes even more time. You could be doing something like that you could do even on a daily basis if you really wanted to put the work in, or even twice a week if you wanted to put the work in 3 times a week. And you can do it much, much quicker, much, much easier, much more efficient. And you could have traffic today, and plus you're going to be doing organic stuff as well. And that means if you're doing these regularly, you will be making sales every day from them. But there's some nuances to it. If you want to do that kind of stuff, then don't just use the product name. For example, when you find people doing the launch promotions, they will be promoting a specific product name. So it could be studio review and studio bonuses and studio demo and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you also put in that title, what the product type is. So you put in there like studio video maker, studio all-in-one video creator, studio artificial intelligence video creator. And you did a whole bunch of different videos, like something that Paul Murphy would do, for example, in that kind of situation, because studio's got like 4 or 5 different tools in it. Paul would do videos for each one of those. He would have videos, for example, for studio, artificial intelligence, script writing, videos, VSLs, okay? And he would do a demo on it, kind of thing. And you put that link in the description of all the other videos. And then he would do another one like studio video creator tool, right? And he'd do another one for studio, something else like syndication tool, where it does some syndication as well, to about 45 social sites from the Synth Labs. And all that kind of stuff, all the stuff that's built into the studio, he would have different videos for that. So you can see how that can benefit. So if you've done that kind of demo strategy, you can have that initial video done, and then you can break it down into each section. Like I've got the one for Joss. If I can break that down because he went through step by step, so I can actually take parts of that video and put it into a sequence. And then the sequence using tools like SerpAttack and even from YouTube ads can be absolutely phenomenal. It can actually make a hell of a difference. And this is a money-making difference, not a ranking difference. It's about traffic. At the end of the day, we're doing YouTube SEO to get traffic. And we're getting traffic because we want something from that traffic, whether it's to build an email list, but ultimately it's usually about, making money. And that kind of strategy can work really well. I'll do some sessions on that as well when we get time a bit later, because that can be really, really powerful. If you see something like that being set up, if you see something like that, when we've got all the elements ready and I can just piece it together in a webinar and show you how you can do this, it can make a hell of a difference. And it's not just in the internet marketing niche. There are bigger niches out there. If you look at self-development niches, you look at events niches, you've got massive amounts of people spending massive amounts of money on events. And if you can tap into one of those kind of audiences that is really popular, whether it's about Tony Robbins or Donald Trump or whatever it might be, I'm not getting political here, but whatever it might be, you've got other ways that you can monetize. You've got other ways you can monetize from e-commerce, from merchandise and all that kind of stuff. And that kind of thing can lead you into, places that you just cannot imagine the amounts of traffic you can get. And, it's just kickstarting your campaigns. That's all these kind of tools can do, is kickstart your campaigns. But when you've got content like that, remember when I said at the beginning, it's going to depend on the quality of your content, what kind of results you get over time. Well, when you got content like that, it's always good content. There's no better content for somebody who's looking for information about what is the best webinar software when you've got the creator of a webinar software that works really well, that's got good reviews, priced reasonably, or even priced recurring, and they come across your video and you've got that interview in the presentation. It's perfect. It's exactly what they're looking for. And you're asking the questions that they exactly have. They're getting answers. A lot of people, and at the end of it as well, you can tell people at the beginning, stay till the end and I'm going to tell you about a really great bonus. So they're hanging around to find out what's the bonus. You can have, if it's a product launch, you can say to them, look, we know you're going to buy this tool. You've been searching for it. The only decision you have to make is who you're going to buy it from. You need to check out my bonuses. Watch this video. I'm going to give you the best bonuses. Nobody's got bonuses like this because they're all using the PLR crap. This is a real bonus. Watch the video. And you can keep people in retention that way when you're doing that kind of a presentation, when you've got somebody talking about their own product. And there's sort of one step down from that, if you didn't want to do that, would be to take the demo video from the JV page. That would be the easiest way to do that. That would be the next step down, and you would just do some kind of review where you're going to answer the questions yourself. Of course, you're not going to ask yourself the questions and answer them. You're just going to use that as part of your video script that you're going to address those questions. in some way, in some format within your content. But all of that kind of stuff really works very, very well. So if you're looking for money-making ideas, that's one of the easiest and one of the best ways, one of the most reliable ways to make money with affiliate marketing. It just works. It's never not worked for me. Never, never, never not worked for me. Okay, any more questions before we finish up? All right, guys. I think that will do us for today. Happy New Year, by the way, to everybody. I tend to forget things like that. I get so stuck in projects, I don't even think, I hardly look up sometimes to see what time of day or what time of year it is. But hope you all had a safe time, and I'll speak to you again soon. We will start to do the training. We will start to do some live sessions, probably some StreamYard sessions, but give me about 7 days, okay? I've got some things I need to finish with traffic scouting. I wanted to get SerpAttack out now so I can start to build up that membership. You can start using the tool now, etc. If anybody's got any issues with the license keys, just connect with support initially. I'll put Adnan into that group as well. He's not in that group yet for the SerpAttack. So if you just contact support at anthonyhayes.me, I will get every person who doesn't have an automated email or whatever might have gone wrong there, sorted out today, okay? And we will put Adnan into that group as well. In the group, try to keep it for strategy. If you need some support, then you can connect with Adnan direct from the Skype group, just PM him and keep the support out of the group so we can keep it for strategy stuff and announcement stuff. I like the groups to be reasonably active, but I want them to be active when there's something to be said and not just a lot of noise all the time. Nobody likes Skype groups like that. Okay, and we can make it efficient. Then we can make announcements and people will see it. We can do all that kind of stuff. And one more thing that we should do as well is you should get onto my SMS list. I don't spam that list. I will only let you know when we got webinars coming up. I've not even used it to this point. I haven't used it at all, actually. So what we will do is we will have an SMS list so that we can remind people, hey, there's a webinar tomorrow, or there's a webinar coming up in an hour or something. It doesn't cost you anything to receive it. And I'm not going to spam, I just send it out from Leadplaster. So what we can do is we can create a form for you to fill in so that you can put your telephone number and country in there if you want those notifications, and we can send those notifications if anything needs to be notified about training, StreamYard sessions, all that kind of stuff, okay, so that we can remind people when those are coming up, okay? All right, thank you. I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks.